Welcome back to the Hockey Show, and today we're talking about game number 2 between the Florida Panthers and the Boston Bruins, where this one definitely goes the Panthers' way. After winning 6-1, they tie up the series 1-1, and this was a hell of a game for this. And I really liked what the broadcasters say. I don't know, wait, was it Ferraro who said it? I don't remember which one said it. But they said that this game, like in game 1, like the eye test, right? It was definitely a close one between both teams where like it was a blowout. Well, not a blowout, but it was a big win for the Bruins. Scored a bunch of goals, really shut down the Panthers. Low score for the team that's supposed to be very good at it, and a high score for the team that's supposed to be stopping it. Like very close game eye level though. And for me especially, like people are panicking. People are freaking out. Oh my God! Panthers are out of it. Bruins got this easy win for them. Everyone always blows up over these games so early, and everyone, like even Spittin' Chicklets says it, where just like Ryan Whitney will just go on there and he's just like, Bruins got it, Bruins blah blah blah, and it's just like, no. It's one game, and the Panthers looked good in game 1. It just, the bounces and all the moment, like it all just went the Bruins' way. But this game definitely feels like Florida found their game and they destroyed the Bruins. And the Bruins felt like they were always fighting uphill in this game because Florida broke them. Florida, in the first period, it was still going the Bruins' way. I think they came off of that hot first game, and then also their series win against the Toronto Maple Leafs. Like, it felt like they were going in with, and they're like, yeah, we got the momentum. We won our last 2 games, won a series, we won game 1. We're going in here, and Brad Marchand this is also, like, how, like, much momentum and what a star player does, unlike what Toronto's, like, Marner and Matthews does, is Marchand gets on the ice, and he isn't just, like, playing good, skilled hockey, because it's not always about what you put up on the board, right? It's a lot of times what you're doing without the puck or what you're doing with it that isn't you actually scoring the goal, right? And what Marchand does by just laying out a guy like Matthew Tkachuk, he's always scrapping, he's always getting those big hits to make the puck goes out of the play, right? The puck goes up to Aaron Ekblad, he goes up there, he finishes his hit, he allows the puck to get broken up and make bad plays for the Panthers, right? He keeps his hand-eye up there. He notices the puck get out of the zone, right? There's so many things going on for Brad Marchand that a star player, a captain, a leader who can just drive his team forward to like keep things going. That is what a star player does, and I know there's a lot of talk about if Marchand is a Hall of Famer, which I didn't even think was a debate until like the last like 2-3 weeks where this has been questioned. He is absolutely a Hall of Famer. Like, with especially the numbers, like, I know they showed the stat last night of players with, like, 10-plus points playoffs or something like that, whatever the stat was, and he was, like, up there with Esposito and Gretzky and Lemieux. Like, it's like, he is, right? He is up there, like, he owns, like, the Bruins, like, of all teams, an original 6-team, like, Bruins record for playoff goals. Like, he is a Hall of Famer. Like, to me, there's no question about it, especially how good he is with his age and the captain he is and the story that he's been told and the crews he's been with. Like, he is absolutely a Hall of Famer. So, didn't know that was a question mark, but his assist on the Charlie Coyle game was absolutely insane. Charlie Coyle's goal with Marchand being able to do the toe drag under the player and hop over him to make that pass happen, and then Zacha to feed it over to Coyle for the backdoor goal. That was unreal. Unreal play, and that was all the Bruins' first period. They owned it. They were ruling it, especially with Marchand leading the way. And Swayman looking as unstoppable as ever. Like, they were still a brick wall, and Florida could not figure them out. Could not do it until Lorentz ties up the game. He gets his second of the playoffs, and this was the beginning of the end for the Bruins this game. Because after that, it goes to Barkov, and then this is going into the second period with Barkov, Forsling, Luostarinen. You get Barkov again and Montour. Goal after goal after goal. Forsling just blasted in. Montour's shorthanded goal was sweet. Barkov just getting these couple of goals, finally ending the power play drought for the Panthers and the I guess the good drought for the Bruins, not allowing one. Like, the Florida Panthers, they figured out the Bruins. They didn't break Jeremy Swayman, but they broke the Bruins, and Swayman could not keep up with it. Just the plays they were making, and just the way that Tkachuk moves the puck around the ice, and the way they're able to just swarm the Bruins, like, they just couldn't be stopped. Like, they were literally just pounding the bees all over the ice. And the Cats, the offense was figured out. You could tell last game that there was a little bit of rust left. And I know the stupid idiot commentators were like talking about how, like, oh, they look fine. Looks like they don't even miss a beat. And it was like, no. You can clearly tell this is not the team that beat the Lightning 6-1. You can obviously tell that. And they found that game tonight. Not just because they won the game 6-1, but last game you could tell, like, not all, like, the big plays were there. Matthew Tkachuk was making a couple mistakes, like, he wasn't all there. Verhaeghe, I felt like he missed a couple of his chances, right? This game felt like everyone, like, their mind was back into play, their mind was back in the game, and there's always just kind of those barriers, right? If you've ever played a sport, if you ever just, like, kind of played anything, even just, like, a video game, right? If you've played anything, like, you know, you just have you have, like, a moment where, especially if you play, like, NHL, like, you might have, like, a big struggle, like, with your team. You're just like, man, I can't figure this out. I suck today. And then you just, boom, everything switches for you. Everyone lines up correctly. And that's what happened with the Panthers today. There's just a mental thing that they clicked. They clicked in the game. And once you finally get over that hill, especially that is Jeremy Swayman, like, they really figured it out. And they dominated. And the Bruins, they just felt like they were fighting an uphill battle. After, like, the first, like, 15 minutes of the first period. The first 15 minutes, I would say, was theirs, even though the Cats were basically with them. It felt like they were really pushing the game, and especially with that Lohrei chance, who is an incredible player. Like, it just felt like last game, all the pieces went together for the Bruins. They got those lucky bounces, and today they didn't, and then it led to the Cats finally getting over that hump that they were looking for. And they did it, and they did it proud with a 6-1 win. And the Bruins, they just couldn't match the Cats after the first. That first period was their period, and then after that, it just escaped them. And then it just escaping them, they couldn't contain the Cats, and it just kept going. And that third period felt kind of like a waste of time. With Ullmark in net, like, it just felt like, I don't know, it just, like, the whole period didn't feel like the Bruins, like, you can tell some games where, like, the team is fighting to play because they want, like, their dignity still intact, but, like, just some of the plays, like, felt like, yeah, we're not scoring this one. And it's just, because that Charlie Coyle goal all starts because of Charlie Coyle's forecheck, right? He's getting in there, he's playing the body, he's forcing, I think it was Ekblad, to make mistakes, and he has to break it out of the zone, and he makes a mess up. He gets the puck over to turn over to Marchand, who makes that sweet play to Zacha. Coyle rushes to the net. Like, it's all of those kind of plays that a team like the Avalanche can do consistently over and over again, and the Florida Panthers. But the Bruins were the ones buzzing and doing it and getting it done. And it all just shifted. Because after that first period, they couldn't find those plays. They couldn't match the speed of the Cats. They couldn't match the pressure. And it just escaped them. And it just over and over again. Bobrovsky was a machine as well. Like, just over and over. Just nothing could go the Bruins' way. And it ends up being a 6-1 win for the Florida Panthers. And that's how I expected this series to go. And for me, going back to Boston now. Going to Boston for the Florida Panthers now. I think this is going to be the Cats game. I think the Bruins going back home and Marchand just being the leader he is, who just never really gives up. I think it will be a story again where the first period is a war. But I think my prediction for next game is that the Panthers are going to try to start off hot. They'll have a big turnover, which leads to the Bruins getting a big chance. And that first period will be the Bruins again. But it'll kind of be similar to how the Panthers couldn't score on Swayman. And Bobrovsky will shut down. And I think the first period will end with the Panthers leading 1-0. And then the second period will be close again. But I think down the road, I think the Panthers get a couple more goals and just keeps going that way, where the Bruins are pushing, but they can't match the Cats, and the Cats just can get the job done better than them. And just over and over again, that's what happened this game, and that's what I think is going to happen the rest of this series. So for me right now, I think the answer to the series of how this one goes is it goes to the Panthers in 6. I think it's going to go like Panthers, it's going to go Bruins, Panthers, Bruins, and then they'll tie it, and then it'll go Panthers, Panthers, and then it ends the series. That's my guess. But for me, the Bruins, what do they got to keep this series theirs? I think they really just need to find that game one again. That game one where they are able to just keep competing and find that first period where they keep pressing. Guys like Pavel Zacha really step up their offensive play. Marchand's got to keep being dominating. But other guys just need to raise their game. DeBrusk needs to play that way he played those first 3 games against the Toronto Maple Leafs. McAvoy needs to be strong. Guys like Wotherspoon, Lohrei needs to keep going. Brazo. I think Brazo is going to be the type of determiner that, like, if he can get a couple goals this series, right? If he can next game be at home and Marchand can generate a goal for his line and Brazo gets one going, that'll be a difference maker for the Bruins too. But it's just they need that depth to show up. The depth to really push the Panthers and even them out. Because in net right now, I usually would never say this against any series, but Swayman is the best goalie in the league right now. And maybe the best player in the league right now. And if he can play as a brick wall and the Bruins can just find a couple of those goals, they can edge them out again and get like a 4-2 win, 3-2 win. So, and for the Panthers, they just got to play this game again. They just got to play their dominant, speedy, pressuring way with Bobrovsky covering their asses whenever they need them. And that's really all I got to say. So that's the end of this video. So thank you for watching this. Made it this far. Please subscribe. And until next time, too sweet. Have an amazing day, and ta-ta for now.